What's going on, everybody?
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, we are back.
Woo!
It's Drinks and Conversation.
The podcast.
Yes, and I'm Intro Picks, and I'm always in the building.
And I'm Oxytocin, and it's always going
down. Oxytos.
Hey, now.
Listen, we are back.
We are.
And we got an amazing episode
We
today.
do.
Yes, and this is episode 60, actually.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
We about to retire. No, we're not.
I know.
We're not.
No affordable health care for us. Okay. We got Timea Gaines in the building.
Yes,
What's up,
we
Timea?
do.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Hey, now.
We've been trying to get you on the show for a minute. Where you been at?
Oh, listen. I've been staying low-key, but working as well. So I got little things up my sleeve, but
She got to get them coins.
She gotta
yeah, gotta get them coins. All of the coins.
Okay. All right. We hear that. All right. Timea, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, give an introduction. What's going on? Let us know.
Listen. Well, we just came off of another She Rocks event. So for those of you who don't know, She Rocks celebrates and highlights women in the arts and women in business. And it's my baby. That's my brainchild. And I'm really, really excited because we just came off our 5th year of doing the event.
Okay.
5 years, bananas, crazy. But I also own my own strategic communications firm, which I am obsessed with the communications industry, period. I've been in it for a while, and it's what I love to do. So
Okay, well, explain the She Rocks event. Like, for someone who doesn't know or maybe want to attend next year, explain She Rocks. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, so She Rocks is like, I would say, a Coachella for women in business and the arts. That's what we're moving towards.
Okay.
But we really, really have a showcase to highlight and celebrate indie artists, both in visual and performing arts, and then honor women in business who are just doing amazing things in male-dominated industries. And that's so important to me because I feel like so many times women are undermined, overlooked, or underexposed. And I really want their peers to be able to celebrate them. And for the mass market to understand it's them, the consumers, who make the decision and say, these people need to be exposed. I mean, look at Chance the Rapper. Look at indie artists who are on the come up. Anderson .Paak. Like, look at King and everything that they're doing. I mean, so it's just a way to continue to celebrate the movement of women and how we curate culture.
Okay.
I love that.
I know.
Look at a businesswoman doing things. That's wonderful. So you said you started She Rocks, right? You're the founder of She Rocks. What was that process of starting that for you, and how did that go?
It was an accident. I tell people that all the time. Like,
it was an accident.
Literally, an accident. Like, okay, this could be something type of feel. So I was in Nashville, Tennessee at the Stellar Awards with a production assistant, just blogging at that time, covering the Stellars. Like, we got to do something for Women's History Month. And so she said, well, maybe we could highlight some women in D.C. who are doing some things. And, with blog sites and just journalism, period, you're researching, you're trying to find out. So I came across this article that was like, less than 20% of women in visual arts are being showcased in museums and Smithsonians throughout the world. Okay. And I said, why is that? Like, why do women have to continue to take a back seat when it comes to male-dominated industries? Why are we good enough for being a musician or for being an MC? Why can't we just be dope, period? Because we are. And so I was like, no, forget that. I'm going to have an event, and I'm going to name it She Rocks, and everybody's going to tell her She Rocks. And so
But this has blown up. Like,
I love
this
the
has
name too.
Yeah, it has blown up. Like, you have being an attendee at your events, like, you literally are helping women out there. Like, even though they're doing their thing and they're successful in their own right, everybody needs a little help, a little shine, a little publicity, whether you're doing, but you're doing that and you're touching a lot of women. Like, and I think that is just awesome. Like, and so what we all know that the Women's March was one of the biggest largest protests in history. Why do you think that we're still battling that issue? Why do you think we're still battling the issue of equality, even when it comes from racial equality or even gender equality?
I think it's an issue because people can't get over themselves. We live in such an individualistic culture where everybody is, it's my four, no more. It's me. I'm trying to get this. But it's like, hello, dummies. If the many small like businesses and entities would learn to pour into each other, then we all would be massive. We all would be multi-million-dollar like women-owned businesses, black-owned businesses. But a lot of people are just trying to hoard everything for themselves, and it's like, no, it really is literally enough room for all of us. And I think once people get over that concept of me helping myself is all I need to do. Like I always tell people, you can't cultivate greatness in the earth if you're not planting anything. It's dumb for you to feel like you're leaving a legacy and you're not implementing or putting anything into the earth, into society. And so when you don't put in and when you don't cultivate greatness and when you don't give back to other people, then your legacy dies with you.
Okay.
I know. Everybody got that survival of the fittest mindset. Sometimes you just need a little bit of help. Just help me a little bit. Put me on a little bit, you know?
Absolutely.
I know that's right. So, where are you planning on taking She Rocks? Like, where are you planning on taking this?
Listen, New York, Tokyo, UK. Listen.
Are you taking it on the road? Are you taking it? Are you going to go?
We're taking it on the road. In 2018, we're doing a tour.
And I see, like, with this, the 50th event, it was at a new location.
Yeah.
And it's just like a whole step up. Like,
yeah, we'll probably never do it at a hotel again.
Why?
Because I feel like it limits the creative aspect of things.
Okay.
Corporations and like hotels have so many rules and stigmas and guidelines. And it's like, I'm a creative. I don't live in that. Like, don't put me in a box. I want to do what I want to do. And so I feel like there are certain aspects of the event that we kind of had to scale down because of that. And so I wouldn't necessarily advocate for having it in a hotel. It was cool for our 5th year, 5 year. We're definitely growing. We can't fit in the venue that we were in before. But yeah, we'll see where it goes from here.
Okay, so I've never been to a She Rocks event. I'm looking forward to going to the next one, of course. But for someone who's never been, what can I expect from attending your event?
I think one of the dopest things is the fact that we have things operating simultaneously. And so it's really like stepping into a journalist said this before, a parallel universe of like shopping, networking. You're taking in live performances. And a lot of people, when they hear like indie artists or independent people, it's like, they may be good, they may be whack. Like, nah, the talent is actually dope. Like,
the talent is actually dope.
No
like no games. Like,
no games.
I want to say I'm a veteran. Okay, I'm a veteran.
You're a veteran. She Rocks attendee.
Okay. He rocks too. Okay.
He does rock.
But the talent is off the chain. Like, that's one of the things that is like a pivotal thing in your event is the talent. Like, you have people dancing, singing, playing instruments. Like, it's a variety. It's a show at the end of the day. But my experience is you get to shop, network, and you get to meet other people in business and entrepreneurs and things like that. And I think it's awesome. Like,
I've heard nothing but great things. I've heard nothing from great things. I've heard a lot about you from Intro Pics. He always tells me, like, the She Rocks event. I've heard so much. I just haven't been able to go. But next year, I'm in there.
Yes. We'll be looking for you.
Yes. I can't wait.
Well, speaking of women and women empowerment and things like that, lately in the news, I don't know if you heard about Bill O'Reilly's comments.
Talking about Auntie Maxine.
Auntie Maxine. You know what I'm saying? And don't nobody mess around with Auntie Maxine. You know what I'm saying? But Why is it still like that? What do you think women have to do to get there?
I don't think that we will ever be able to do enough. You know, it's really not an individual or a people issue. It's a hate issue. And until we get over the hate issue and really learn what it means to love, I mean, unconditionally, I mean, the real kind, we're not going to get to that point where women are really free of stigmas, where people of color are really free of stigmas. It's just the way of the world. It's the way of people. It's our mindsets, and it's hatred, really. Because if we really would get to the point where we see beyond, you know, our differences, cultural, spiritual, whatever, relational, then we will learn to really live in a society where people can thrive and really be cultivated in the way they need to in order to continue to create great things, to create dope things.
So, I mean, in a sense, are you saying like the people that are in charge today, they will never kind of see women as equals, even though we low-key, we know that women are basically just all around just better, you know, but it's still like, it's still hard, I guess, you know, because women are still fighting for their rights, you know. Before we could even be able to vote, like then women were able to vote. Like, you know, it takes, it's like, I don't know.
And it's crazy because women, we birth greatness. You get what I'm saying? Like, literally. Like, and so the very people that oppress and suppress who we are as beings, we brought them into this world. So it's kind of crazy.
You birth every child, yeah.
Yeah, yep. It's kind of crazy that women have to go through that labor, and I think it's just the nature and the weight of being a woman that we have to continue to deal with. I don't think you're never going to end all generational poverty. You're never going to end all racism. You're never going to end all, classism. That is something that is going to continue to happen as long as you have people who have a mindset of hatred.
Do you think you can improve it?
I definitely think you can improve it, for sure. I think we've seen improvement in some ways. The Women's March being a big one, seeing different people from different races, classes, and sex come together in order to stand up for what they believe in, and making sure that women have certain rights and that their voices are heard. But I don't believe that it will end. I think there's always room for improvement. You will see improvement, but it's gonna take a long time to get to the point where you see it really end.
And in order for it to, especially for me, I feel like in order for it to change, I don't feel like it's something like a woman would have to do. Because I know you asked, well, what do we have to do? Okay. I mean, it sucks, but we shouldn't have to do anything. I feel like the issue lies with individuals like Bill O'Reilly, and it's going to have to take for them to start making some changes and start seeing things differently for change to even happen. There's nothing I can do as a woman to get you to change your closed mind. You know what I mean? You have to take that upon yourself to heal yourself and to change your thinking. So, but it just sucks. But women will try. We're strong. You know, we can deal with it. But he needs to get his act together.
Well, let me ask you, because I'm still in corporate. And have you been in corporate, in like corporate business? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've been in corporate.
I've been in corporate, yeah.
Okay. So and I know Oxytocin is in corporate as well.
Absolutely.
But
them day checks.
Do you ever experience sexism in the corporate arena? Like,
freaking-lutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I'll give you
give me some examples.
I'll give you a prime example. Just I've seen before my own eyes, like, men put up for positions who were lesser qualified, especially in the media realm and in radio and broadcast. It's been crazy. Like, you'll see a woman who not even just off of credentials are far advanced than their male counterparts, But I mean, they're killing it. They do the research. They have everything going for them, and it's like, really, you're gonna allow her to take a pay cut, and you're paying him a crazy amount of money, and he doesn't even hold the same credentials. He doesn't even have the same qualifications or the same talent. And that's not to take away from, because there are men who are talented and who are qualified, but I see it all the time. Another example, my sister, who is a beast with finances and has worked on every level with different corporations, she had asked for her worth. Mm-hmm. And the job was like, we don't want to lose you. And so if someone else is going to offer you something, then let us know, because we really don't want to lose you. And the crazy part is she got hired through a third-party company, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They are paying the third-party company more than what she asked for in her salary and in her rate, and they declined it. And it's like, you don't want to lose it. Mind you, when she first came on, she found things within their finances in their books where they were like, oh my gosh, like, we can't believe you found this. Like, we don't know what we would have done. And so it's like, you're going to pay an amateur to come in and do it at a lesser rate. And here you have a woman who you have acknowledged is a value to your corporation, but you don't want to give her worth. It's crazy to me.
Okay.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's not
crazy.
That's not fair. What about you, Tosin? Have you experienced that working in corporate? I mean,
I've heard stories. I know people who work in HR. I know people who deal with payroll. And, sometimes they have to fight tooth and nail to get maybe a person of color the same amount of pay as someone else who's not the same color would get. Or they have to, fight twice as hard to get a woman that, the right amount of pay that she's worth. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to give it to them for whatever the reason is. And I spoke with her, and she was telling me about it, and I was just like, wow, because sometimes you're on the outside, you're like, does that really go on? You don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's why they say we shouldn't talk about pay,
at work,
in the
at
workplace. But that really is no benefit to the employee.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's really no benefit to the employee.
You're right about that.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to talk about it without really going too in depth about it, but I have heard stories. Me personally, have I dealt with that? No. I'm not in HR. I'm not in payroll. I don't know anyone personally. Like, I know you have your sister story, which sucks. They need to get it together. But I know it goes on, and it's just really sad.
That was one of my questions, because I was like, how do we know that, unequal pay is actually happening? Because at the same time, they do tell you, like, don't talk about it. Mm-hmm. Don't share your pay. A lot of times, we don't want to share how much we making anyway. Because you don't want the next person counting your change. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I'm on these coins.
So you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to share that. So you never going to know what the next person next to you making over you, and even though you may be more qualified with doing so. But I've always said that, like, women are the motivators, and they turn things over. There's a lot of women that they do stuff that is historic, and the credit doesn't get there as much as it would be, with men. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's changing. I think I can honestly say I think it's changing. I mean, I would have loved to see a first female president. I voted for Hillary. I would have loved to see that. You know what I'm saying? Just to, show little girls that this is something that's possible. You know what I'm saying? All across. It doesn't matter. You could be a president. You could be a veterinarian. You could be a doctor, but just having just women included is important, So, I feel like that. Plus, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
You stupid. You're stupid.
But, yeah, I mean, y'all seen the Freedom Caucus. They over there making health decisions and things like that, and there's no women involved in that, so we got to start electing women,
Yeah, we got to
start with your local and state government people, please. Your local, make sure y'all participate in them local and state elections. Okay, everybody want to come out and vote for the president, but that's not where you affect change. Right? So
one thing I wanted to ask you, Timea, because you are a cancer survivor.
Yes, I
okay.
am.
All right.
Yep.
And that's a big thing. So that is to be celebrated. In the time that we're living in right now, where healthcare is such a big issue, what's your opinion on it? What's your opinion on dealing with something as, big as cancer in a state where healthcare is so important?
I think it's important overall, even when we speak about the legislation that is changing with the new presidency.
Okay.
And I don't think people realize how much health impacts the lives of just everyday people. And so you're talking about someone who was a 27-year-old entrepreneur. I was not, unfortunately, in the mindset where I was thinking financial preparation, where I was thinking about life insurance, where I was thinking about, having certain staples and things in place. And so when you talk about health insurance and when you talk about the lack thereof and the necessity of it, it's so vital. And the fact that it could possibly be taken away from millions of Americans with a change of a bill or with a change of legislation is just I could not imagine having gone through that process and not being able to have affordable health care. Because what people don't know, a lot of people don't know, for one chemo treatment the price that you would pay is astronomical. And so when you're talking about out-of-pocket costs, I went to go get one treatment of Neupogen, which I needed because my immune system was very low. So technically, as a cancer patient, you need this shot in order for you to thrive and live and make it. And one treatment was $3,100. That's not chemo treatment. That's one shot of medicine. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. And so imagine if somebody didn't have health
that
care
money to
help to cover those costs and offset those costs. It would be crazy.
Whew.
So let me ask you, how did you do it? I mean, were you a part of, like, at this point in time, was the affordable health care was intact at this time? And I'm assuming that you already had insurance.
Yeah, I already had health insurance. Thank God.
Okay.
So that's something that I just didn't play with as far as my health was concerned. So I've always had health insurance, but I could not imagine going through that process with not having had it and then trying to rush to get it or to get in. Because even with the Affordable Health Care Act, there's certain stipulations and time periods and things that you have to paperwork and things that you have to fill out. And so for me, I was fortunate enough to be able to already have health care in place and have health insurance in place. But yeah.
So did they take care of a lot of it? How expensive is it when you're diagnosed with a illness like that? How expensive is it?
No, cancer survivors who had to file for bankruptcy, who are $500,000 in debt because of their medical bills.
Wow.
I mean, you're talking extensive. I mean, I know someone who went through treatment, and their treatment alone was one treatment was $100,000. Like, it's crazy. And I don't think people really realize that. Like, they're not getting it. It's not just like you buy some Tylenol, buy some ibuprofen, you be good. This $20 no, like, it's thousands of dollars, like crazy.
And how? I know I'm asking a whole bunch of questions.
I'm just listening. I'm just in shock
because
right now. Because I hear people say, "Oh, cancer treatment, oh, chemo." Like, you hear it, but you never think of the price tag. You know what I mean? You never think this person's going through a bankruptcy or spending their land, so dip it into their IRA, dip it into the certificates, dip it. Like, I just like, oh, just going to treatment, like almost like a check. I have no experience with anyone who's been through something so serious, and I know it's serious.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I'm listening to what you're saying to me, I start thinking about the price tag, thinking about the one shot, because people are on this for years now. This is not something that's just one shot. Like
That's true.
People been doing it. You hear people about 3 months chemo, my 5-year chemo. Like they do it for a while. So I mean, that's just the price tag just running up and up and up and up and up. It's just, and a lot of people. I was watching 2020 or something. They were saying a lot of Americans are in debt because the highest thing is the medical expenses and medical bills.
Medical bills ain't no joke.
Yeah, and that's what's ruining a lot of people's credits as well. It's medical bills.
Well, to me, let me ask you, someone who just diagnosed, who probably just got the terrible news. What do you, as a survivor, what do you tell them?
One of my key things are your mind arrives at a destination before your life does.
Wow.
And you need mental agility. It has nothing to do with the physical, because the physical deteriorates, it fades, period, just with being human beings. But if you can develop the mental agility to be able to overcome the kind of beast that cancer is, that chemo is, then you can get through that process. Because that's really what it is. It's a process. And I think so many times people get in the mindset automatically that, oh my gosh, like it's a death sentence. Like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. And the truth of the matter is it doesn't have to be. We make it that way because of how we speak over our lives and because of how we allow other people to speak over our lives.
So where did you draw your strength from to go through that?
God, number one.
Amen.
Can't leave that out. And two, I had such a strong support system with my family. I mean, I could not have endured what I endured without my family being there. And mind you, there are cancer patients who go through it alone.
Wow.
You know, they don't have the family members to be able to be there to sit with them through treatment, or to be there to love on them through that process, to pray for them, or just be there to be a support. So definitely God number one in my
Amen.
family.
Amen.
Yeah.
And we are definitely happy to see you and have you here today. Just off the strength of that, you've been through, some struggles, trials, and tribulations in your life, and you're beautiful, and we are happy to have you here.
You guys are beautiful too.
Well, I got one more question. One more question on this, because we're friends, and you decided to keep your journey at that point in time silent. You decided not to tell anybody or anything, because for me it was like one conversation that we had, and it's like, I'm free of cancer, and and it's like, I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? You didn't tell me, you know, that you and we talked, and it's like, what's the reason behind that decision?
The reason behind that is because I wanted to be mindful about how people spoke over my life.
Wow.
A lot of people don't mean any harm, but you get a lot of people that'll say, well, what's your prognosis? Or, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for you. And the more you entertain negative thoughts, negative words, the more it overtakes your life. And it's not because people mean bad. I was even very particular. I mean, the doctors knew well what I was going through, but I would tell them I had one when I was going for just testing and different genetics testing. The doctor kept saying, you're cancer. And I looked at her and I said, no, not my cancer, that cancer, because it does not belong to me. Or, she would say a lot of people are afraid to get this range of testing. And I looked her in her eye and said, I'm not afraid. Do what you got to do. And so I think it's about knowing being intentional about how you want people to speak over your life.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's a word right there.
That's a word right there. Because what you speak things into existence.
Absolutely.
Words are power. There's power in words. It's very powerful.
People really don't believe that, though, and I'm trying to get people to that end. It's so profound and it's so real. Like,
absolutely,
the things that you believe and that you speak, they really do manifest themselves in your life.
I 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
We about to have church of it.
Well, you ain't been in a minute.
Listen,
so
don't speak that. Don't speak that.
Take him.
Yes.
Don't speak that. Don't speak that. All right. Listen, you know what I'm saying? I think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? I think it's dope. Congratulations. I think that's most suitable to say. You know,
yes,
it's just congratulations. Thanks for just being a survivor, you know, and leading by example, because you don't really know how many people you inspire just by you going through what you went through, you know, and to be able to still be sitting here today is just awesome. So, and to be on Drinks and Conversation,
awesome. And her energy, and her positivity, and her motivation. What?
Well, in more ratchet news, a little bit.
Now for ratchetness.
You know, some women out here is getting fired for, you know, just speaking their minds. You have Tomi Lahren. I don't know if you heard of her. Well, I don't know who hasn't heard of her.
Everybody know about Tomi.
And she got fired for speaking her mind on women's rights on The View as far as abortion. So my question, one, is what's your stance on women's rights? And two, I mean, is it, you know, I mean, for her to be representing a network that doesn't believe in that, for her to speak out, should she have been fired?
I think when you get in those kind of situations, and I think that I will say that there are clauses within the Constitution, because if you're going to say that we have freedom of speech and that, you know, we have freedom of press, what is the conversation when those two are intermingled? And I think you have to tread the lines very carefully. Just because a network holds a stance doesn't mean their individual employees will. And I think that there has to be a clear conversation that happens between that corporation and their employees regarding what can happen when they're presenting that brand. Because when you're working for a corporation and a company, you're taking on their brand name and you're carrying it. So regardless of your individual belief system, you have to, and that's not to say you don't stand up for what you believe in, but it may not be the best idea within that context to say it outright, just knowing that you're carrying on that brand experience. For me, however, I believe that, you know, everybody has the right to take on their own views, their own opinions. But when you just speak about, like I said, brand representation, there's a fine line. And the reason there's a fine line is because once you enter corporate America, you take on corporate America. And I mean, that it is what it is. Should
you feel like you should still have an opinion?
You should definitely still have a opinion. I would say just be careful the context that you express that opinion in. So if you know for your company and for the brand that you're representing that is something that they speak about in terms, because some of them have it in their contracts. It's in the scope of their contract. There have been organizations that I have worked for and been a part of, media organizations, where even when they were going through legal battles with different brands and different people, the employees were not to talk about those things, even if they were friends with those people. So it's like, even though they don't impede upon those friendships and upon the personal views of, you know, how you may feel about that brand or that person, because you are working for them, there's just a fine line in certain contexts. Now, on your own time, do whatever you want to do, but you're on their broadcast, their network, and I don't think that she should be dragged or maimed for having an opinion. No, but I think, like I said, there's a fine line, and I guess I understand that at a different angle because I'm in the communications industry as well, and I've been on every end as far as like media as well as like PR and marketing. So I get that, and so there may be certain things that I don't agree with that some artists may try to bring to She Rocks, but I make it very clear before the indie artists perform, this is a family-friendly environment. So you're not about to be
within the brand.
Yeah, you gotta stick within the brand.
Okay. What's your position on abortion? and women's rights?
Pro-life, pro-choice.
I am pro-life. I believe that, bringing life into this world is something beautiful. And I understand the context of, some situations are unwarranted.
Okay.
Even from my grandmother was a rape victim, but she still had, the child. Okay. And I understand that some people mentally and emotionally are not able to carry that weight, but I'm pro-life. I'm pro-life. Yeah.
So the question that comes with being pro-life that we get is, for somebody who does decide to have an abortion, if you're pro-life, what should the consequences be?
If you're pro-life, I don't believe that there should be any consequences. I believe that your views are your views, and you can't project that on anybody else. And I feel like, we've gotten into
But would that be considered pro-choice?
No. It wouldn't be considered pro-choice. And let me kick it to you like this. We live in a society where not to agree or side with your opinion means that I'm attacking you. And it doesn't mean that I'm attacking you. It just means that I have my own view of what the world looks like. Yeah. That's just like if I say
the
world is flat. The world is flat.
Right. And you want to say the sky is blue. Just because I feel the sky is purple doesn't mean I hate you because I don't agree with what it is your opinion is.
And it doesn't mean we can't be cool.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
When we say Black Lives Matter, that don't mean all lives don't matter.
Right.
Absolutely. So I get that. Actually, Tosin, what's your stance?
Are you pro-choice or pro-life?
Well, let me ask you first. Let me get the women opinion. Let me get your opinion first.
I already asked you.
Let me get your opinion first. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We've had this debate.
We've
had this debate plenty of times, and I am pro-choice.
Okay.
I am make your own decision. I feel like on Judgment Day, God ain't gonna call 2 and 3 of us all together. He's gonna be like, you did this, and you're gonna be the only one there to be judged for your choices. So, pro-choice. That's just my stance.
Okay. All right. I would say I'm pro-choice too. I would say I'm pro-choice. I would say I'm both. Like, you know what I'm saying? I did.
Both is right though, because I will encourage you to keep it, but
right.
I would advise you. But hey, at the end of the day, I can't make. It's your choice.
It's your choice.
But I will, So I guess both too.
But I guess
I think that pro-life has been given a negative connotation because people have been made to feel like others are condemning them because of some of the stances of people. And for me, it's just like, guys, like, why does it even matter? Like, for example, even when I say why doesn't even matter, I mean it to this end. My decision is always going to be my decision, and whether someone agrees or not has no effect on me whatsoever. And so it's like, if I'm going to make the decision, I'm going to make the decision whether you like it or not.
That's true. And I guess where it's coming from is from a legislative perspective, because if you say that we are pro-choice, right? We're pro-choice. We're saying, okay, it's your choice whether you have birth or have an abortion. But then it comes down to, well, when do you consider acceptable to have an abortion? Are you talking about you giving a month? You're giving 2 months. You're giving 1 trimester.
There's a cutoff point. I know you can go and get it done illegally or whatever.
Right. But that's the point, because when you say that you're pro-choice, you're kind of saying that still we have to have some type of cutoff point of when you think life starts.
There is a cutoff point, though.
But that's all a part of opinion, because somebody who's pro-life, their cutoff point is soon as it connect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Soon as it's there. But someone who's pro-choice, they might say, well, okay, well, you can still abort the baby up to, 6 weeks or 13 weeks or whatever the case may be. But someone who's pro-life is saying it's still a life. Life has already started once the sperm connected with the egg. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I think that's more of the debate of when is it acceptable for a woman to get an abortion, basically. Like, what is the guidelines upon that? It's like, okay, we understand you can do whatever with your body, but it's like at the same time, we're not about to let you have an abortion at 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not about to say it's acceptable and legal to have an abortion at that time.
It's not.
It's not at this point in time, but somebody who says that you're in control of your body, you're able to do that to your own body, regardless of whether you're carrying.
I don't think pro-choice is saying you can go get an abortion at 9 months or 8 months. That to me is not pro-choice. That's murder.
But even if you say 2 months, let's say like
whatever
what's the latest you can get an abortion?
Look, I don't know. Like my baby 12, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I know it's like there's a certain point where women cannot get an abortion after, and then they go do the illegal one.
But some people that believe that you're pro-choice believe that
you can get it at 6 or 7 months. That's what they believe?
No, they believe that even being pregnant for 2 weeks, let's just say hypothetically, is too long. Like, you have to keep the baby after that point in time because it's considered a life.
People who are pro-choice believe that.
No, people who are pro-life.
We know what you're confusing me. I'm all over the place. What are you saying?
I'm saying that. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Okay, people who are pro-life feel that life starts earlier, so therefore you can't terminate the life.
Okay, pro-life.
Yeah, but if you're pro-choice, you're given the choice to say this is your body, so you can terminate whenever because this is your body.
That's what I'm saying. Pro-choice doesn't mean you can terminate whenever.
Okay, so when does it mean? When can you terminate?
The legal cutoff. I don't know what the cutoff point is. Whatever it is, the weeks or whatever. But after that point, that's not.
But we don't have a legal. Let's just say we don't have a legal.
There's laws
because that has been approved by people. That's what I'm saying, and that's the debate.
But that's how it's always gonna be. It's always gonna be a debate on everything. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, always.
On life, on religion, on relationships, on spirituality. No one is ever going to come to a head where there is a mass opinion where, you know.
We're like, yeah, we agree. Of
everybody's
course,
like, yeah, we all agree.
No.
We all have different backgrounds and different views. And I think we need to more so entertain conversations of language, culture, and meaning. Because depending on your cultural experience, depending on where you come from, where you were raised, where you were born, what you saw growing up, different things that really affected your emotional and mental capacity, all of that plays a part in the decisions that you make. So it's always going to be a
tug of war, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out. You know, this is women.
I'm not even going to try to figure it out. I'm going to let the people up there on the hill do that.
But see, that's the thing. You can't let people on the hill do that because in essence, they're telling you what you can do with your body at the end of the day. So if you say that you can't have an abortion past 3 weeks, and if you do, it's, criminal, things that can be in place. It's the government telling you as a woman what you can do with your body. And I guess that's the argument. That's what I'm trying to say, is that it's saying that those guidelines are set in stone. Like, people know now, like, okay, well, if the baby if you just got pregnant, let's say you're a teenager, you just got pregnant, you don't have any money or whatever the case may be, but under the federal guidelines as of right now, abortion is legal up to, let's say, 7 weeks. I don't know what it is, but let's say 7 weeks, but let's say you 7 weeks and a half, but you can't afford to keep this baby. Basically, it's giving the power back to women. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Am I lost?
Sorry.
Y'all don't.
I'm sorry.
I say y'all just keep having babies.
I'm not following
just
you.
keep having babies.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, no, no. And moving on.
Move on. Nobody cares. I'm trying to speak up. Trying to speak up. Well, now talking about childhood memories and stuff like that. Like on our last episode, we was talking about like the Power Rangers. I don't know if you've seen like the Power Rangers movie. I was a big Power
I want to see it so bad. I heard the movie is out.
And reflecting back to our past, do you remember shows like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Of course.
Like that was like my show back in the day.
I loved all the shows.
Me too.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters.
Oh my gosh, Family Matters,
yes.
all of that. Like that used to be the joint.
I love Family Matters.
Well, you know Aunt Viv. You know, y'all know the first Aunt Viv.
Janet Hubert.
Janet Hubert. Okay, now Janet Hubert, she been going off for a couple of years.
Mama got a lot of anger. Something's going on.
Yeah, she's
bad.
She don't like the Smiths. She don't like them.
No. Jaden, Willow, I don't like none of them.
She don't like none of them.
Not even the kids.
Not even none of them. And you know, I guess they had a reunion for, you know, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and she was really upset. Like she was like, okay, you can't have a reunion of the original cast without the original cast. You know. So I mean, my thing is like, do you think she should get over that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially we've seen it. I mean, in the industry, the turnaround rate is just people come, people go. Things happen. Move on with your career. Evolve. You know, get better.
She ain't done nothing since then.
I don't know.
She might have.
One side of me is like, I feel really bad for her. She must be really hurt. I don't know what happened. I'm like, dang, she must. I mean, it's been like over 20 years, my dude, and you still mad. Like, it got to be something really serious. But then on the other hand, I'm just like, you really need to, you know, grow up, be an adult, get over it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on a fence. I feel both ways, but I mean, nobody even, she just got to chill, man. Like, you getting older. You just got to just be happy. Like, you have to make a choice about your life and say, you know what, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to put this anger down because she mad. Like, she's really mad.
Like, she like going in.
Even her little videos, she be mad.
You have to get to a place as a person where people don't have that much power over you.
You were in charge of your peace.
Someone told me one time, the person that has the power is the person that's not afraid to walk away.
Whew.
And like you at some point you just have to let it go. Like live your life. Whatever is making you better, whatever is making you happy, live in that.
Maybe she mad because she didn't get to walk away. Because I guess she was 5. Maybe if she had chose to leave, she wouldn't be as upset.
You know what I think it was? I think it was that I think she maybe feels guilty that she messed up a good thing. Because
they said she wanted more money, wasn't it? An increase or raise? Or
even if she wanted more money, or she was hard, because they say she was hard to work with, you know, and I could kind of believe that. But I could kind of believe it. The videos make you hard to believe, you know. So, you know, I think that she feels like she messed up a good thing. You know how sometimes you feel like you messed up a good thing, so you can't. So you just dismiss them all the way around, like, you know what I'm saying, and you just still try to carry that ego that you had beforehand, because, you know, we don't move. Actually, you know what? I actually like the second Aunt Viv, but just a little bit better.
I'm sorry. OG Aunt Viv was trill. I can't.
Oh, okay.
She was trill.
I like
trill with it. She was trill. But you know what makes it worse, though? Everybody looks so happy in the photo. Like, even if I'm mad, I'm going to keep it to myself. Everybody in the photo looks happy, like genuinely, like good. And you mad. Like, it just makes her look even worse. That's why you shouldn't talk bad about people. I just want to send her like a heart or something. Like, can I emoji heart her or something? Like, I heart you. Like, stop being upset. Get over it, please.
Maybe this is her only, you know, shine, where it comes down to.
This isn't shine, and this cannot be considered. This is nowhere near shine. Okay,
Janet may be a little crazy.
Shine you want? I just need her to just get it together. She was, I don't know. I'm sorry. I say sorry to you. If they don't say sorry to you, I just want you to be happy, Miss Hubert.
Janet Hubert.
Yes.
You know.
Just want her to be happy.
You got to be careful about your relationships. It's been, what, 20 years
and you
since
still
then,
mad.
And you still mad. They ain't even invite you. They could have invited her.
They could have They could have had both. They wouldn't have been looking like that in the picture had they invited her. Everybody would have been like, jail pose.
Right.
Like, nobody would have been smiling, no teeth or nothing in the shot.
And you don't want to burn those bridges either.
No. And those bridges are burned.
And we know in media, you got to keep your bridges. You got to keep your bridges intact. Well, Timea, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you for just coming, chilling, and talking with us.
Yes,
absolutely.
Before we get out of here, I need
we got to do it before we get out of here.
intro pics and Timea. Speaking of Aunt Viv and her long-suited anger, what were you mad about, and for how long were you mad about it? It could be a relationship, be a friendship, family, whatever. What situation made you pissed, and how long were you pissed about it?
That's a good question. I think that I am a very hard person to piss off, but I would say when I got cheated on by my childhood boyfriend twice, because it happened twice.
You still mad? You still mad?
Oh,
a little bit. Oh, okay.
I'm over it now.
I know that's right. She
Thank
don't want
God.
that old thing back. No.
Listen.
So how long was you mad?
Yes.
And how long? And how petty was you?
It was the first time I was extra petty. Okay.
Ooh.
I was extra petty in that I was just young and upset, and so I just ran my mouth about it. And it's not that anything I was saying wasn't true, but it was just unnecessary. It's like, why are you giving the situation that much attention? The second time, though, I went off. Like, I went in. Like, it was not nice.
Oh, man. She was busting windows out the car.
No, it wasn't. I was busting no windows.
It was not nice. It was not nice.
But
all the Jordans on fire.
It took me some time. I think as a woman, that's something that when they say ain't no fury like a woman scorn,
girl,
it's true. Like, I mean, we put up with so much, and I feel the frustration is for me, like, why cheat when you could just let me go? I'll respect you more if you just drop me. Like, you don't gotta have. To me, you don't have to have your cake and eat it too. Like, yeah, I would be hurt, but it's a whole nother dimension when you feel like you gotta keep me in your back pocket, and then you want to have somebody else. Just don't have
really
nobody
not about.
and
It's really
do
not
what you want to do.
It's really not about that. That's
Tell
how.
us, what is
That's
it
how.
about
That's how.
cheaters? What is it about cheaters?
Well, I'm not in that life no more. I'm not in that life no more.
You gotta
but
listen to people. People tell you about themselves.
No.
People tell you.
Listen. I'm not in that life, but I am a man. I am a man, and it's really. I can understand because I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? And it's really not about that, but we don't have enough time to get into it on this episode.
Well, we need a part 2 because that needs to be a whole.
We gonna have you back. We gonna have you back.
You just try to finesse that. I can't believe that.
We don't have enough to get into it for this episode.
Whoa, buddy.
But look, when you come back, I'm gonna tell you, it's really not about y'all. Men are brought up just a whole different, we'll talk about that a little bit more. We'll talk about that Drinks and Conversation June 10th.
Oh, that is a good one.
We'll get in contact. We'll do that. We'll do that.
That's gonna get a little interesting.
It's gonna get hot in there, but please keep on all of your clothes. Thank you.
Okay, not too hot. All right, not too hot. But Timea, thank you for coming through.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome back anytime.
Anytime.
Definitely come back pre-She Rocks.
Yeah. I will.
Yeah,
I will for sure.
That'll be dope.
I told her when she come back, she not even gonna recognize the studio. It's gonna be on point.
It's
New
and
crazy. Yes. Intergalactic type thing.
I'm so glad we got a chance for you to come on the show.
Absolutely.
And be here with us. And you are just doing phenomenal, and you rock. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
100%. So this is Drinks and Conversation.
The podcast.
Yes, and we are out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.